mess. Oh wow, my hair is a mess. How lovely. All right. So I apologize for the horrible camera quality, but the one on this notebook is bad. And I wanted to show my face so that you guys know what, am I being caught? Hello. Okay, yeah, the green thing is moving. That's good. All right, so it's time to talk about. It's time for our yearly ritual on basically 2019 and the recap. Like we go through each year and we recap how we've done, what's going on, how things have been this year and what's to come, of course, in the next century. Again, I apologize for the horrible camera quality, but that's just my PC. Also, hello, Nomad. Hello, Songbird Serenade. You guys are welcome to ask questions as well because it's a fun stream. So let's see. Where should we start? All right. So why don't we just start with sub number? Where did my paper go with the written down number of last year? The end number. Hello. Oh my God. Professor Mule 87. I apologize if I just butchered your name. Okay, there we go. So we have done relatively well this year. This hasn't been necessarily a bad year. Hello, Rainbow Dash's best pony. Sorry for the hair, by the way. Hello, Zachary. Yeah, this year was not even close to last year's production. We had a big year last year. We gained a lot of subscribers, and we got to experience a lot of things. But this year was not necessarily bad. Let me get that sun of your eyes. Hopefully the stream doesn't lag. Otherwime, I'm gonna be mad. Okay, so according to the video that I posted, I think it was on the 24th last year of this same month, we had 3,609 subscribers at that time. Right now, we are currently sitting at 4,000. Hang on, I think 4,826, I believe, is what we're sitting at right now. Something like that. But anyways, so let's talk about the year. How has this year gone? We started off really well, actually. We didn't actually start off with any lemons or anything like that, nothing bad. There's not been really anything wrong, health wise or anything like that. I'm actually doing really well with my health. That's good. I have definitely had a really good year, minus the COPPA and FTC stuff that came out around last month. Yes, that was a mess and it sucked, but like I said, as long as you guys just follow the law and make your make your content labeled correctly, you should be fine. Trust me. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I hope there's no problems. Hello. Oh, Jesus criminy. Show that. Okay, hang on. I'm reading some of your guys' comments. You're coming in too quickly. That's what she said. Greetings, Sparrow. Hello, Dennison. I hope you got 5,000 subscribers in 2020. The new decade's in the new beginning. Yeah. The aim for this year, according to last year's video, was 6K, but I didn't realize how much YouTube is going to change. That it was going to pull this COPPA and FTC stuff, but whatever. I haven't gotten any flags. I haven't gotten any problems, so that's good. Jesus Christ, I gotta read quick. That is my job. Let's see. I hope SML, cute Mario Bros, Stash Bros. What? Okay. Your channel will survive as long as you just put it correctly and just keep updated on what is going on. Because you never know. YouTube is one glitchy system. One platform, actually. Jesus Christ. Never shown your face before. Yes, I've shown my face multiple times. Hi, Chaz Johnson. I'm sorry if I missed anybody. But our most successful month this year was definitely October. October, yeah, definitely was a successful month Macabre this year. We had a lot of views. Like we had over 1,000 views within 48 hours, which is 2 days, on each of the readings. We had over 1,000 views in 48 hours. That is really good, because anymore, a video that I post, even if it's like a Grimdark or anything like that, it takes normally about a month to get to 1,000. So that's important, and we did really well. So successful month Macabre this year. I started out this year doing and said, hey, let's try and do at least 2. And I'm sorry I've been so quiet throughout December, but guys, there's really not much on FimFiction. I'm telling you right now, there is not much on FimFiction right now that I can read. Like, also, I'll get to something in just a second. The main reason why I've been quiet, been so busy that it's hard to really even associate right now. Let's see. I always show my face whenever I'm doing my reactions. The reason why I can't show my face is because I use this PC and it lags on OBS. So I just use the platform. Either way, you get my reaction and you get my blind commentary, so that's fine. Everyone needs to send a petition and they're golden. Huh? Gold to the touch. Impressive 28 pranks later. The Aftermath got a lot of viewers or views. What a breakthrough. Well, the thing is that I did not expect this month of Macabre to do well at all. I was actually shocked when I saw how much views were getting in on it. On the freaking premiere for Twilight's transmissions, we had over 50. That's a record. Definitely a record. And it just like surprised me. And I can't thank you guys enough for your support and everything and all that. I am grateful for all of you, every single one of you. I am grateful for. I mean, it's like I've said, it's like I've said in previous videos. Without you guys, this channel wouldn't be here. Period. That's it. Oh, hang on. Connection unstable. Please wait while trying to connect. Come on, don't do this to me. I don't know if you guys can still hear me. Sorry, the internet tends to be a buggy bitch. So, and YouTube can freaking flag this video all they want. I don't fucking care. I'll fucking swear if I went to YouTube. So, screw you. But anyways, so, God damn it, I need a calculator. Okay. Just hang on a second, guys. I know. Where would that be under? God. I don't know how to use a freaking goddamn thing. Oh, there it is. Okay. So let's see. How many subscribers have we made at the time of this video? So let's see. We go 4,826 minus 3,609. Not that. 3,609 equals. So this year we have gained 1,217 subscribers at the time of this video. So at the time of this video, the month's not even over yet. We've still got a little while before 2019 actually does end. This year has flown by. I mean, seriously, it's gone by so quickly. I never expected. Like this year it seemed like it just barely started like a month ago. And now here we are at the end. That's why when it came to Month Macabre and all that shit, I was like, oh shit, October's like right around the corner. I need to hurry my butt up. So you guys are really lucky that you actually even got a freaking Month Macabre this year. Like Twilight Transmissions, I started writing back in 2016. Something along those lines. But I started writing it right after I wrote The Aftermath, because I wanted to kind of give a brief explanation as to what happened in the 28 days after Twilight had basically killed 2 of her friends out of mercy. And yeah, that's pretty good. And I really started writing it and was going to abandon it, believe it or not. I was going to abandon it because it just didn't make sense. A lot of the inspiration came from Resident Evil. So yeah, that's why it's very like, sci-fi kind of feely. And if you guys are wondering if there's going to be a sequel, no, there won't. There won't be another sequel. But what are other highlights this year? Like, oh, let's talk about, like, the main elephant in the room of this entire, year. MLP G4 ending. Well, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I mean, seriously, when I sat down to watch the react to react to the the finale in one go, all 3 episodes in one go, I was not ready. I told myself I was not ready. But then again, am I ever gonna be ready? No. I mean, I've been in this fandom for 6, 7, 8, 9, like 3 years now, and I wasn't ready to let it go. Someone makes a Frozen joke, I will kick you out of the chat. But anyways, so yeah, it was definitely an emotional ride. It was definitely an emotional ride. But was it as impactful as I expected it to be? Yes. It wasn't necessarily the like 24 and 25, the ending of the end. That one wasn't necessarily the one that was the impactful one. I was expecting a humongous battle, no doubt. I had predicted this since God, when was it? Ever since like season 9 was basically clarified as the last season, which was, I think, right before season 8 started, or after it ended, one of the two. But basically, it was the epilogue that really touched the heartstrings. That was the one that really hit me right in the feels. Did I cry? Nope. I did not cry. I was close. Very freaking close. I was close. But nope, I somehow managed to keep my emotions in. If you guys don't know me, I'm not someone who cries all that much. That's why it's kind of hard for me to do like emotional like voice acting. When someone, has to portray fake crying. Regardless, that's still a challenge. But was G4 ending really hard for me? Well, of course it was. I mean, seriously, this show has been like my entertainment center for like the last 3-4 years. So yeah, it was really hard to let it go, but I was glad that it was ending. The reason why, because it's just because, guys, if you watch season 9 had a lot of repetitive morals and lessons. Some were done actually much better than previous ones, but for the majority of it was just repeated morals, and that was it. When you're repeating things, it's normally meaning it's not doing good. That's normally when it's like, yeah, it's time to end this thing. So I'm glad season 9 is actually ending the way it's ending. When it's ending, it did end. Blech, my bad. It's done now before it would have gotten any worse. I mean, season 6 was definitely the one where it like went on a roller coaster ride, up, down, up, down, up, down. But definitely the worst season of My Little Pony, in my opinion. But definitely still a good season. Still had some winners, but not the worst. It's like not bad, but it's definitely a roller coaster ride. Like, it started out really, really horrible, then slowly started to tick up, and then it fell down again. Like season 6, that was the Changeling reforming one, I believe. I want to say yes, because Starlight was basically the new focus. Best season, in my opinion, was God, with season 9 on the board now, the best season, in my opinion, oh man, that's tough. Going off of basically the season that would have stood out the most, and not being a biased person, I would say probably I'd say season 7 or season 4 were my favorites. Like one of those two would be my favorite. And it's not just because of the Tyrek battle that season 4 is on the list. If you guys don't know, I'm rewatching the show now to actually see if there's like episodes that I originally thought were bad that are actually not bad, because giving it a rewatch really does help. Season 5 would come close to a third, because people really hate Starlight. I love Starlight's character. I really like what they did with her character. Like, they didn't just do what they basically did to Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon, like reform and nope, no more talking for you. But I think the main reason why that's the thing is because of the fact, that Chantel Strand, who voices both those characters, I believe, where's Thomas when I need him? But basically, those two, I think that Chantel Strand was leaving the show, if I'm not mistaken. I think she was done voice acting for it, and that's the reason why they had to basically make them mute now. Okay, let me read the 2019 was an asshole for me. The only thing I hate about season 9 is Cozy Glow's character. Cozy Glow was definitely a weird villain, but I actually do like her villain. I mean, there's a lot of conspiracy around her character and like who she is. I agree. She should have had like a backstory. Why is she who she is? This is a child. I mean, literally, is it the thing with like Cats Don't Dance? Is she like secretly a midget or like an adult in a kid's body? I don't know. All we know about her is that she's power hungry and she will do anything to get her way. So even if it means teaming up with a centaur, monster, magic sucking being that can literally turn tables in like a second. Season 8-9 felt like the worst that the show had to offer for sure for me. Mainly because I think they were focused around different ideas. They were trying to be more original, but I think for some people it failed and for some people it didn't. Me, I'm a very simple person and I like the Student 6. Like, my least favorite is probably Gallus, honestly, if I'm being honest. Gallus is probably my least favorite. My favorite of the Student 6 is a mixture between Yona and Smolder. Those two are like my two favorites, if I'm being completely honest. But they were great characters. School friendship, that was mainly for, like, I think that the show staff had the whole entire show's like end figured out by the start of season 8, I believe. I think that was how it went. They had it like figured out. They knew how it was going to end. So that was basically how we knew that already. So trying to, keep my head together here. I do like how they symbolized the tree, like the reformation tree, the tree house, the whatever, the thing that the Student 6 created, like basically the original Tree of Harmony's roots growing into that, what do they call them? It's like oh God, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a safe haven. That's the word I'm looking for. That is more of a thing that the writers made, like the writers put as a thing to represent the fandom. Because if you remember right, basically the what's the thing, like this, the being that was the tree, Twilight, the sparkly spirit thing of the tree, the sentient being was the spirit of the tree was basically telling them that they could come here anytime they felt troubled. It was only used once, and I thought that would play into the finale, but nope. Apparently it's only meant to represent the fandom and to show, that the fandom is not gonna die. It's always gonna be here for those who are troubled. You can always go to the fandom for help. And we've proven this multiple times in our many, many years that it is possible. This fandom is amazing. And while there are some bad people in it, there is good people, very good people. Lost, Meg, Goody, Luna Farrow, myself, Scribbler, blah, 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 blah. I think I said Scribbler twice. I don't know. But, there's just some examples right there. Great people, fantastic people. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, they removed the trailer because of the fact, I think it's the song. The song, if you've listened to the original version, it's not for kids. And the fact that they have their animated characters like, what's the word? Like lip syncing the part where it says good as hell. That's not a good message to kids. Season 5 always felt like the strongest to me, man. Man, that season was so good. Season 5 definitely had a good vibe around it. But there's another reason why I like season 4. Season 4 had a storyline to it, like an actual storyline. Like, it kind of like season 7 had the storyline with the pillars. Season 4 had basically the chest and the chest and what was in it, the keys. It had something that kept you watching it, and Hasbro's very smart about that. It's an original idea and a very cool idea. Basically, season 8 had the school friendship and developing the characters, and season 9 was basically focused around Twilight becoming a princess, the ruler of Equestria.
Okay, here's another load that ain't been put away.
Okay. But yeah, that was basically the show's representation when it came to season 8 and season 9. Season 8 was to build up for the school friendship and mainly to address the student 6. Season 9 was all about turning Twilight into a princess, pretty much. But other than that, I loved the ending. The ending could not have been more perfect. Not necessarily 24 and 25. 24 and 25 could have been better in many ways, but 26, holy crap. I think the writer was Josh Haber, if I remember correct. But episode 26 could not have been more wholesome, more perfect. Like, from basically Twilight being Celestia, and like, that doesn't bother me. I think that bothered a lot of people. It doesn't bother me. Like, I honestly felt like that was going to happen regardless. They kind of hinted it in season 4, I believe. Like, when Twilight had the power of like all the Alicorn princesses, and they had to and there's that one where she's trying to like move to lower the sun. What's it? To lower the moon and rise the sun or something like that. And her hair kind of went all wavy, kind of like the princesses. So I had a feeling that was going to happen. So from that to Twilight basically becoming Celestia to her student, yeah, the show could not have ended any more perfect. I mean, perfect, right on the dot. And of course, the shipping things going on. After seeing, oh God, what was it? It was the cheese sandwich return episode. I can't remember what it's called. But after seeing that, I had a feeling that Pinky was going to turn like those two were like going to become a trio or like a duo, like something like that. I had a feeling that was going to happen. And that's exactly what happened. They got married, they had a kid. And considering that it's only Boneless 6, I'm kind of curious if they might have more kids. But Gummy turned into Godzilla, basically. Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon, they're in the background talking to Twist. It's like really quick. You got to catch these things like really quickly. I rewatched that scene, that whole sequence through that song, like very, very, very closely, just to see if there was anything that I may have missed. And there's Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon in the back talking to Twist. So that shows they're still good. Derpy, of course, still getting the mail incorrect. What else? Jesus Christ. The Cake twins growing up and basically becoming, the babysitters for Little Cheese. Yeah, that was, it shows that, everything has developed, and there is still, what the main 6 left behind is still there. Like, everything's still there. God, I'm trying to really replay it in my head. It's really hard to remember all these things at once. So just let me give me a second. Oh, Rainbow Dash becoming the leader of the Wonderbolts. Rainbow Dash was definitely going to become the leader of the Wonderbolts. It's amazing how this show worked. Like, when we first saw her in season 1, she was just basically a fan of the Wonderbolts, wanting to become a Wonderbolt. She had her dream. She accomplished it. And of course, she became like, Spitfire kind of looky kind of thing. I didn't really care for that, but that's okay. Apparently Rarity has this fashion line going all throughout Equestria, clear to like Yakistan even. And of course, if you guys don't know how you actually get gray hairs, it's caused by stress. It's caused by a lot of things. And if Rarity's like running a fashion line that goes that far, it's going to cause you a lot of stress, and it's going to give you gray hair, but she looks good regardless. The Apple Dash thing. This thing is being like played. Like, people are saying it's canon. Some are saying it's not canon. I don't care. I honestly don't. I'm still going to ship Twilight and Rainbow Dash like crazy. I don't care. So that, yeah. But one of the main things that that some people didn't catch were that when Applejack shows up, she's wearing the little scarf thing that Granny Smith used to wear. So yeah, Granny Smith's dead. That's a confirmation. She passed. I think Big Mac is probably the leader of the farm now because he seems to be the more the more bigger figure of the entire farm. Well, Applejack's more just the apple bucker. What else? Let me think about this. Sugar Belle and Big Mac getting married. Yeah, I was kind of spoiled on that, but I knew it was going to happen. I just knew it was going to happen. I mean, they build up this freaking relationship. It's got to go somewhere. I mean, you can't just do that, Hasbro. But they did it, and I love how they got married at the tree, where right in the spot, right in the same exact spot where their parents were wed. That's very wholesome and really cool. What else? God, I'm having to play the song back in my head just to catch all this shit. Also, when it comes to the sequence when Luster Dawn is coming to not Bittersweet Apple Acres. No, that's another story, Sparrow. Sweet Apple Acres. They basically show the tree in the background, and that's even more of a representation that Granny Smith has passed. As much as Goldie Delicious, because Apple Bloom at the school is wearing her thing that she wore around her neck. I don't know what they're called. Let me read through the comments. Let me give you an example. Crazy Clothes Girl was a weird character. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, she was just a power hungry, I don't know, child, adult, maybe adult in a child's body. I don't know. I'd like to see a goblin as a new villain for G5. Spoiler. It's a good idea to have a backup channel. I have a BitChute. If you haven't seen the one where I talked about the latest update about the Kappa thing, it's called "It's Not as Scary as You Think." I think it's like the second to last video that I posted. Go there, and I do have a BitChute account. I am backing my shit up. Recap. Okay. If you haven't seen my OC, then okay. And grown up, Spike looks like Spikezilla. Lol. Just a truth for thought. Nah, he just looks like a hunk, honestly. Kind of looks like Man Spike from oh my god, I don't even remember what season that is. I think it's season 1 or 2, one of the two. Yeah, it's an early season when he was Man Spike. They basically cameoed it again in Do Princesses Dream of Magic Sheep or something like that. But the main thing about the whole finale was that it was ended correctly. It was ended perfectly. Like that, once the song started playing, I'm like, oh, this is it. This is it. Are you ready to come on? I gotta, I was like bracing myself. I'm like, I know it's gonna be a song. And once I heard those 3 notes start playing, I'm like, oh, like I was not prepared for this. I would have never been ready for it. I mean, seriously, this show's been a part of my life for 3 years now. So yeah, only obvious. But let's see. Just trying to think of anything else that I may have missed. Yona and what's his name? Sandbar. Looks like they're dating or maybe are a thing. I don't know. There's no confirmation on that. Fluttershy still continuing to, make her to run the sanctuary. I don't know if Discord and her are a thing, but I think that they are. I'm a Fluttercore shipper, so I like it. Let's see what else. Oh, and that end sequence where they actually basically, are hopping across the screen and revealing all of the ponies that they have, ponies and creatures that they've come across and befriended. Holy shit, that's a rush of emotions. I mean, seriously, that's beautiful and well portrayed and just wholesome. Like it shows. This show has made an impact on things. But it could have been ended any better. And of course, the last part of the song where the da, 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 like the melody for MLP was playing, that shows that they're saying thank you to the fans and all that stuff. And then of course the final, where she sends Luster Dawn off on her own and the rainbow in the background. and then the book closes. That could not have been put any perfect. I mean, MLP has basically been a storybook we've been reading and learning, and as it's gone on, we've been learning and been guided. That's basically it. But back to the channel, this year has been not as productive, but that's mainly due to YouTube. YouTube has been buggy all year long. Not necessarily bad, but it's just been all over the place, literally. I mean, with this whole COPPA situation, of course, the subscriber plague, or what are they called? The subscriber purges. I don't think YouTube should do that. I mean, seriously, leave us alone. If we have subscribers, let us keep them. Don't purge us. That's annoying. The last purge that happened, I think I lost like 15, 17, something like that, but gained them back pretty quickly. And of course, YouTube's just continuing to continuously becoming a buggy system more and more and more and more. And yeah, I think that YouTube, if it keeps going the way it's going, is going to probably be dead within about 5 years at least. 5 or less, something along those lines. Like literally, YouTube is on a plummet. It's not getting any better. And unless what's her name, Susan, whatever the fuck her last name is, and if Susan and them continue to just continuously get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, this is just going to die. But that's why I'm moving over. That's why I'm pushing over to BitChute, so that I can have a backup or like an alternative. That way, my content keeps going, and YouTube can just suck my dick. I don't care. So I've already labeled my channel as not safe for kids. And all of my videos are marked as, no, it's not for kids, so I should be fine. I've done everything I can within my power. So, let's see, the experiences of this year. This year has been full of, gosh, this year's flown by so quickly. It's hard to really recall every single thing that has happened. Like, did I get to work with anybody that is like... I really haven't gotten to work with a lot of other people this year. I mean, this year has been, it's gone by so quick. I don't really remember if I did anything like, I didn't like, if I collaborated with anybody big. The Scribbler collaboration, I think, was last year. Yeah, I think so. I think that was last year. If it was this year, sorry, Scribbler. But we've grown, definitely. I've made a lot more friends, definitely. I have gotten to experience a lot more things. I mean, sure, I'm mostly an introvert and have, not gotten a chance to really get out there and do things, but it doesn't matter. As long as I'm continuously just providing content to people and, entertaining, inspiring others, that's why I made this channel. Well, originally it was just for fun, but then once it started to get serious, I saw people were entertained by my voice and by my, by just the antics that go on this channel. I don't really recall anything like major happening this year. The only thing I can really recall is the thing that I did with Reborn Chant, which was the thing for Autism Awareness Month. What was it called? Comfort Zones. That was a major, major cool thing to do, because Reborn had been looking for a narrator for that story for like months, and she couldn't find one. So after a narration stream that I did with her, I told her, I'll do it. I'm open to doing that. I recorded right after the stream, which is really not a good thing to do, because I had done a lot of narrating. So normally I wait until the next day, but whatever, it was a thing. So I promised her I would get it to her pretty quickly. So I did. I sent it to her that night, and yep, here we are. But it was really cool to do, because just like autism, I love to support people and, causes like that. I love to bring attention to things like that. I really wish that epilepsy would be more, put aware, because epilepsy is on the down scale, while autism, cancer, I'm not looking to, bash any other, things. There anything that disables somebody from doing something or potentially puts them at risk of death, that's just not a good thing. All disabilities are not good things. So there you go. They're all equally bad. But hello, Devil Dog Leader, by the way. See you in the chat. But yeah, I don't recall anything like big happening on the channel. Not that I can recall at the moment. But I just have been doing my best to provide the best content that I can, and I'm slowly working on getting another mic, like getting a better microphone. Like I've really been the only other there's another thing that I can say that I've done this year. I've really gotten more into touch with like Wubcake, who was the person that basically got me off my back on my feet when the whole Dusky bullshit was going on. The first round, not the second round. So yeah, that happened. She basically I can't really reveal anything about this, but let's just say I'm working on a project and I can't say anything. It's like a what's the word? Like a do not, you know, like you can't say anything because you're entitled. You're basically told not to say anything. But it's a big project. We had to get some like negativity out of the way first because there was some bad stuff going on. But we're working on it, and we don't know when it's possibly going to come out, but slowly but surely we are working on making it better. So this is something that was like supposed to be released years ago. But yeah, it's being revamped and it's being done much better. Speaking of, wait, what the? Oh, I thought for a moment that was a troll comment. Hello, Johnny No Way. Am I looking forward to 2020 in general? Yeah, I'm looking forward to 2020. I mean, as long as I'm alive, I'm always looking forward to another day to live. I mean, sure, life sucks. Let's just be honest, life sucks. But you just gotta roll with it and get through it. I mean, there's really nothing you can really do about that. It's just part of life. It's the challenge. I'm looking forward to being 1 year closer to death. That's not a lie. That's actually a fact. From the moment we're born, we're destined to die. So, yeah. But other than that, I can't really point anything specifically out. Wait a minute, was that what? I want to say the thing that I'm doing with Urban Ghoul. Artist, by the way, you would probably recognize the art if I showed you the art. They've worked with Lost, they've worked with Mag, they've worked with Scribbler, big names. They've worked with a lot of the big names in the MLP fan fiction community. I want to say that this year I got to work. I'm basically a main role in their project, Tales of Nowhere. I want to say that was this year, but that could have been last year. I'm not sure. See, that's how fast freaking 2019 went by. It's so hard for me to really get back out there, you know, to remember everything that happened this year. But I've been branching out lately to really try different things. And while the creepypastas don't do that well, I still do enjoy doing them. I mean, I really loved No End House. That was actually a really good one. I called it like the elongated version of 1408, pretty much, by Stephen King, if you don't know. I've also been trying to really just improve. Just trying my best to become a better narrator, trying my best to make the content and the audio much more better. Life's a B word. Yeah, it's a bitch. YouTube, demonetize this video. I don't fucking care, okay? I'm going to speak what I want to fucking speak, and you're not going to stop me, okay? This mouth will speak what it wants to speak. Screw you. Screw you and your fucking workers that basically screwed us over. So, fuck you. So, yeah, I'm not afraid to speak my words. But other than that, that's really all I can recall this year that is really the big ones. Like, I can't really even, I don't recall anything else and like drama and all that shit, but that's always in this fandom, so what's new? Something happened recently that was kind of cool. I got a comment on a fan fiction, which if you guys don't know, I started on fan fiction. Fan fiction was where I started, and not in the My Little Pony stuff. I actually started on Alvin and the Chipmunks. I was one of those fortunate writers that the first fan fiction I ever wrote was successful. Like, it still gains traffic to this day, and I read over, I'm like, it's so bad, it's so bad. Like, it's so poorly written, and I cringe at it. And back then I was kind of a rebel head. Like, I didn't like I've grown a lot over, let's see, that was 2014, 2013, something like that. So 2014, yeah, I've grown a lot in 5 years. Let's just say that. But the comment was really cool because it was from someone with Asperger's, which is a type of autism. And they said that they're like a very monotonous person, like they don't really know how to express emotion. And they said that reading the stories that they read by me, there was 2 of them. One was the like first one, and then they did a sequel. And they basically said that I made a memory that they will always remember thanks to the story. And that was really cool. So I wrote back to him, I'm glad you enjoyed the story, and I'm really, I'm glad that, and I just told him, like the story of, my years in the Chipmunk fandom. Wasn't a fun time, guys. I'll tell you that for a fact. So, yeah, it was basically my beginning as a content creator, believe it or not, because it gave me the confidence to try. Not only that, there was a group that I was in called the Monkcast that basically we got to interview one of the people of the original cartoon that was an executive producer and part-time voice actor. His name was Tom Watkins, and we got to hear his story of how he got to where he is. And, well, where he's basically retired now, but he was a really cool guy, said he was a grease monkey, he got the opportunity, and yeah, shows that even grease monkeys could be recognized. Which a grease monkey back in those days, that would have been like the 80s, is like a mechanic. So yeah, it was really cool to really sit down and like listen to his story. It gave me the confidence to try something, like to try and make my own projects. So that was the beginning of my rising. It just took a while to actually get there. And the first ever fan fiction I ever wrote for MLP was Bittersweet Apple Lakers. So yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, I look at that story now and I just think, what was going on in my mind at that time? I think it was because I knew Shock Horror sold. Shock Horror, cupcakes, Rainbow Factory, butterflies, Rocket to Insanity. There's 4 right there that are perfectly Shock Horror. So Shock Horror sold at that time. And my point was to write something that was just, if not better, than the top dogs of the fandom. Bittersweet Apple Lakers was definitely over the top. I will say that. But it was a start. It gave me the confidence. I got the, I was like, I'll just do this for fun. Lost was really actually the one that gave me the confidence to try it because I had listened to her fanfic readings. First one I ever came across was Cupcakes, and I listened to it, didn't react to it. I listened to it, and I was like disgusted. Then I listened to what was the second one? I want to say Rainbow Factory was the second one. Then there was Butterflies. Yeah, Rainbow Factory is more likely the second one, and that's the one I reacted to first. And I was disgusted by it, but then I really, really started to get into it. I don't know, I can't explain it, but I liked the feeling that these stories gave me, like these readings gave me. This is what I like about Grimdark. There's a difference between horror and disturbing. When something is horrifying, it only like makes you go for just a second. Like when you're scared, it just like, makes you jump for a second and then it's gone. Grimdark, total opposite. Grimdark is classified under disturbing. So when you're disturbed, your freaking body is going through a lot of states of emotion. You're sticky and it sticks with you. Like it just sticks to you like glue. And it just continuously builds and builds and builds. The fact that it stays with you is what I like. I like to be scared. I like to feel like horrified. If it's meant to be a horror story, I want it to be a horror story and I want to feel that horror. Whether it be atmosphere, whether it be sound effects, it doesn't matter. yeah, about butterflies. You guys have heard it before. It's the one that nearly made me throw up on freaking recording. Nearly made me throw up twice. So Rocket to Insanity did not make any sense. It was just shock horror. Like I said, shock horror was what basically what was hot at the time, around 2013, 2014, 2015. And that's why, and a lot of people hated Bittersweet Uplikers, and I didn't care. I did not care. First, like within 5 minutes of like posting the first chapter, everybody was like, what the actual fuck? You know, they were like completely just blown, like, what the hell? The reason why I wrote it about Applejack is because there wasn't very many, and there still really isn't very many fan fictions based around Applejack being the main antagonist. So I wrote the best shock horror that I could. And the original recording I deleted. It was bad. I don't think the Redux is any better either. So, but it is better, but it's just there's a few things about it that I wish I could change. Like honestly, there is some things I wish I could change. But one of the things I forgot to mention last year was that I had met people like Scribbler and Luna Farrow. These two were fantastic because they helped me to realize, to find my voice, to find, like, instead of narrating kind of like this, down and low, kind of like grim, like 24/7, all the way through the freaking video. They taught me what narration was and to use my voice. So narrate more like this with my natural voice, They were the ones that saved my voice. Otherwise, within probably, by the time I was 30, my voice was probably going to be dead. There's a right and wrong way to do things, and I was doing it the wrong way. Like Scribbler was like, why does your voice sound so dead? Why does your voice sound so like, why are you taking breaths in between this and this and this and this? And that's where I had to learn what pacing was. So she gave me some audiobooks to listen to. This isn't the first person she's done it for either. She gave me some audiobooks to listen to. I recently I finished it this year, and it was actually a really good audiobook. Really nice, actually. And I learned how to pace, and I learned how to do breath control, and I just learned that it's okay. I mean, sure, this is always awkward for males. When you start, like if you're in the My Little Pony stuff, it's weird to do like voiceovers of female characters. It's weird, and yeah, it's very it's like, uncomfortable at first. But this guy was doing like a girl voice as well. So I'm like, it's okay to do that. It's actually not uncommon. It's not something that you should be ashamed of. I learned a lot of things. And I've been doing and I'll get to that in just a minute. But I've been really learning new things lately on like, Audacity, like new tools, new things that could have really benefited for a lot of other things in the past. Very easy to use, very simple to like improve your audio. So I was really helpful. Like I've learned how to delete pops manually, and it's actually really cool to like just learn these things because it makes it better for you guys. I want to provide you guys with legitimate, awesome content. I don't want to give you guys shit like I was giving you back in like 2016. Oh God. Back when I didn't even know what fucking noise reduction was. Ugh. So whenever I'm like, so if I'm ever like, starting out, like if I ever am just listening to something on autoplay and all of a sudden it jumps to one of my readings and I hear like that static in the background, I'm like, oh my God, just no, go away. Which mic do I use for a beginner? It's all in preference. It's honestly all in preference. Like, what do you want to start with? Do you want to start with a budget microphone or do you want to start with a good mic? Honestly, for beginners, I would recommend something simple. Like, I started out on a Logitech headset. I think I actually still have that thing. Yes, I actually do. Can I dig it out? Let's see if I can't. Let go. This is what I started out with, this little thing. That's the microphone I started out with right there, right next to my mouth. So this is what got me my start, $20. But okay, No, I don't want you to go out and buy something like this for your beginning mic. I want you to actually get something. I got this mainly for Skype calling, and it was when I got into narration that I started using this because it was the only mic that I had. Like, I was doing it for fun, for shits and giggles, but then it started to get serious, and I'm like, wow, okay, I need to upgrade. Like, I kept getting comments, get a better microphone, get a better microphone, get a better microphone. I'm like, okay, I get it. So what I had to do was I had to experiment around. Like, okay, if you're looking for a mic that's budget, and if you don't have like a very noisy environment and it's not too bad, like you can actually make a voice box or something like that, or not voice box, sound box or something like that, Blue Microphone, or excuse me, Blue Snowball. That's what I use. Sitting right here, like right out of frame. Good mic, but it's not perfect. Trust me, it's not perfect. You need to know how to do certain things like noise reduction, pop filter. That's good for you. I mean, there's a lot of things that you just need to know in order to know what mic you want to get. Basically, people start out with either the Blue Snowball or the Blue Yeti. Blue Yeti is a little bit more expensive, around probably $120 or something like that. I think is $130, if I'm not mistaken. The Blue Snowball I got from my Walmart for about, I think, 40 something dollars, like 50-ish. But it was a start. And I did my research to see if I could find, alternatives for a pop filter. Pop filters are not expensive at all. They cost you like some or other for like $6. And considering I only sit like, maybe this far away from the mic, like right here to the mic, I'm right in front of it. Like what you're hearing right now, this is normally what happens, but it's normally in a booth where the echoes don't reverberate off the walls or anything like that. So yeah, now I have a much more professional setup that sounds way better. Like I listen to some of my back readings, I'm like, oh my god, it's so bad. So yeah, it's bad. But either that or the Blue Yeti. The Blue Yeti is a lot more sensitive, but it has a way better noise floor. If you don't know what a noise floor is basically how much noise it can pick up. The Blue Snowball has a terrible one. It actually picks up like everything. So you want to be in a noise-proof like place or build up to it. That can come with the future. When you start out, you're going to start out rough regardless. It doesn't matter. You can have like a very professional mic. You're going to start out rough. Like if you don't have prior experience or anything like that, you're always going to start out very, very hard. Like I started out really rough. I was narrating like this and taking breaths in between and sounding very demonic and very scary like. See what I mean? I was taking breaths in between. My nose squeaks were getting in there, and I wasn't editing those out. It sounded so bad. Now I narrate more like this and take breaths in between lines where it's supposed to take breaths like, and I breathe really low so that it doesn't catch me. Sometimes it does. I've recently learned how to use a noise gate, which is really helpful for editing. So, yeah. And no, I'm not retiring from Grimdark. I just haven't been able to really find anything as of late. All I have is a Logitech headset, even though I rarely talk due to my voice disability. Here's the thing. I hate when people say they can't do something because of a disability. Okay, if you can't talk, period, then that makes sense. But here's what I was always taught. You can do anything you put your mind to. If you have the mindset for it, you can go for it. Go for it and don't let, doubt just push you down. Don't let that voice in your head tell you can't do it, because you can do it. Don't doubt yourself. Like, okay, my confidence is terrible. I won't lie. Like I constantly question, am I good enough? Because I'm working towards becoming a professional narrator, guys. That's what I'm working towards. I'm working towards becoming an audiobook narrator. I want to do that. That's my dream, and I'm chasing it. But I have to learn to let my confidence flow. I can't let this voice in my head keep telling me I can't do it. And I'm learning. slowly but surely I am learning that the stuff that I do is good, that while it's not perfect, it's still good. I have 4.8K subscribers for a fucking reason. I don't have it just because I got lucky. Yeah, I have a voice disability too, lol, hence why I ask. Go for the dream if you want to go for your dream. If you have a voice disability, look, I can prove right here. I have a pacemaker in my chest. I don't know how well you can see that, but I'm trying to get it in frame. That right there in my chest, that little bump, is a pacemaker. Excuse me. That right there is a pacemaker. That thing is, it plays with my voice. I'm not joking either. It goes off every once in a while, and it does play with my voice. It causes it to kind of almost sound kind of scraggy a little bit, but I've learned how to deal with it. I'm an epileptic. I have a really hard life, but, I've learned to deal with it. And I don't let that voice in the back of my head say to me, you can't do this, because I combat it. I don't let it throw me under anything. I take on and I accomplish my dreams. I always push to inspire people, to give people entertainment, to give them that dream that I'm going for, that I want to do. I always push people to pursue their dreams. If you got a dream, go for it. Don't let anybody doubt you, push you down. You will get there eventually. It's just going to take time. It's taken me 3 years of experience to learn how to narrate correctly. The hardest thing about narration is definitely enunciation. Enunciation is always tricky. That's why sometimes if you hear me like say a word like asked or something like that, it may sound a little chopped up. That's because it's a hard word to enunciate. Enunciation is where you have to basically take a word and you have to pronounce it correctly so that the listener can understand what the fuck you're saying. Let's see, Denison. I've only been a brony for half a year. That's fine. Welcome to the herd. In some of my videos, I like to use my low voice. For the most part, I like to use my normal voice. When you narrate, okay, here's how narration works. What a narrator's job, you have to put in your head. What is a narrator's job? The narrator's job is to tell a story and to make you feel the story, to make the listener feel the story. That's the tricky part about narration, making someone feel a story. You have to set the atmosphere. You have to make, like, if there's a sad scene, you have to sound sad. If there's a happy scene, you have to sound happy. If there's a scene where it's dark as hell, you have to sound grim. It takes practice. It takes a lot of, you have to practice every day. And what I normally do is I'll like recite lines or something like that and really work on getting that emotion. Like what I'm trying to work on is emotional stuff, because there's a story I'm working on that is really, really, what's the word? Tragic. Yeah, I'll get there in just a second. Yeah, I'll let that know. Hello, Wonderful Life, by the way. A Wonderful Life. Bleh. See what I mean? It's okay. I can talk. I just choose not to talk all the time. You would have to hear me speak. Dude, you just got to put your voice out there. Here's something that my mom's always told me. She told me the only way that you can ever get noticed is if you push yourself to be noticed. Like you can only push yourself if you just push yourself hard enough to get noticed, you will eventually get noticed. It may take time, it may take years, but you will be noticed. It's like when I first joined in, on doing fanfic readings. Ever since I had heard Lost, I wanted to work with Lost. Have I gotten to work with Lost? Not yet, but I have gotten to work with Scribbler. She's voice acted for me. I've narrated for her, even though I hate the audio and I wish I could take it back. If you're watching the Scribbler, I'm so sorry for that. Not to mention, but it was a stepping stone to learn how to, narrate correctly. It was the part that I needed in order to learn how to find my voice. My natural voice is my narration voice. Now, of course, if a scene gets dark, like all of a sudden the lights went out and everybody in the room panicked, I'm going to go to a voice like that. It's going to be scary. It's going to be kind of unsettling. You have to do that. You have to set the mood. it depends on what kind of narrator you are. Like there's narrators who are very animated. Like they can really, really play with their voices and really make it sound like this is going on and this is going on. Then there's me, who has like a monotonous kind of voice, but I can still jump when I want to. Like what's the thing? Like I could be talking like this narration, and then I can jump up and have a little bit more of that, like a reassuring kind of tone, something like that. And I always listen back to myself, and I just wonder, was that good enough? Can I do better? I never try to say something's horrible. If something doesn't do well, I just always ask myself, what did I do wrong that I can do to make better? I never push myself down. I never doubt myself. I always try to just stay confident and try to just stay good, and both to myself and to all of you. Okay. Okay. I can see you're nervous, haha, but yeah, you're right. Okay, whoa. I think I have a recording of my voice that I can put on Twitter or YouTube. I can read what you're saying. Okay. I like what? Natinator? I don't know if that's a mistype, probably. He's a good narrator for me. I'm only 16, by the way. That's fine. That's fine. And I'm 100% autistic. I'm 100% epileptic. Speaking of which, what do you want for Christmas? Guys, I'm 25. I mean, Christmas to me is just like any other day now. It's not really even a big holiday for me anymore. I've basically grown up, and now I'm learning, that being an adult isn't all it's cracked up to be. But all I want for Christmas is just to live and to enjoy and to, have a loving family and friends. And, that's all I want. I just want happiness. Oh, Jesus Christ. My natural voice is unnaturally deep. That's just the way I hear it. Have you ever listened to Ilya? Ilya has a very deep and very raspy voice. And he's like, I want to say he's an older guy, very much older. Like he's not in my age range at all. He's in like, I want to say it's like in his 40s or his 50s. But yeah, he collaborates with Scribbler. He's the one who does the narration for Vampilance. He has a very deep and very, very raspy voice. Like that. So, Natinator is a creepypasta reader. Oh, I don't listen to very much creepypasta. That's probably why I don't recognize the name. I know Mr. God, there's so many of them with like creepypasta in their name. Like Mr. Creepypasta, Creeps Mick Pasta. I think I've heard of those too. Corpse Husband, that's another great one who does like all sorts of crap. Not just creepypasta, but also stuff from like, Reddit and other places like that. Hey, Dawn. Sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you. Me and my cousin normally have drinks for Christmas. Well, if that's your thing, that's your thing. Madame Macabre. I've heard that name before. I just can't. I've heard that before. I don't know. Yeah, I've probably come across it before. But being a narrator is just all about being able to tell a story and to make it feel real for your listeners. Horror is a tricky genre because you're trying to make something sound scary, right? So to sometimes set the atmosphere, you need to add something like a sound effect or music. I love to add music because it gives it a good atmospheric feel. Like the things that I'm worrying about is like, the thing that I'm working on right now is actually, oh my God, there's a lot of work involved, and it is definitely going to be something. So I've teased you guys enough about this already, so I'm just going to say it. I put on the most recent community post that I'm working on something that will not be posted to the channel. Instead, it's going to be posted to a website that Webcake actually basically introduced me to. Basically, she puts her not safe for work stuff on there. And this costs you money. Yes, I am going that route. I am going to paid work. But but I'm not doing this with voice actors because I cannot afford to pay, voice actors. So I'm doing this myself. I'm having to do all the voices, and yeah, I'm having to do this all by myself. So I'm on my own. I'm on my own on this one. So yeah, it's going to go to a place called Gumroad. This is a website where you can post like fan content, like of your own creation. And I'm going to just tell you guys right now, it's an oldie. This is something I've wanted to revamp for years, ever since I abandoned it and basically called it a failure. It was just so bad. Very first ever pony thing that I ever made, and it's so bad. Like the acting is just, the storyline is just cliched and very badly written. Like it was a script writing thing, and I'm not used to doing script writing. I'm used to doing like fan fiction writing. So that's a whole different, this is going to be a challenge, yes, but I've been wanting to do this for so long, and this is the perfect opportunity. I'm going to be revamping A Pony's Tale, Equestria's Fall. This is going to be a full audiobook, and it's going to be, it's going to have music and it's going to have sound effects to the best of my ability. Right now, I've got 2 chapters written, or not written, God. I've got 2 chapters basically done. The audio is done. I'm just basically going to do all of them and then push them together and release it all as one audio. But this is something that I have been wanting to revamp for years. It's a project that I felt bad for abandoning it because I do not like to just say things are failing. Like, I don't want something to fail. So what I did was I took it and I rewrote it, made it better, made it way better, and just, yeah, I'm going to put it out there as my first, piece of paid work. So, well, paid project, I guess you could say. So it's going to cost money to see. And that's basically, I'm never going to get anywhere unless I try to reach and do different things. So it's different, yes, and you're going to have to pay to see it. But it's definitely something I'm looking forward to. Please go away. Oh, Jesus. But that's basically why I've been really quiet, because I've been working on putting that together. And it's not easy. The first chapter is 48 minutes in length. Jesus Christ. But it's really going to be a challenge, and I like a challenge. Like, Unmarked was definitely a humongous challenge, and it took a long time to put together, but eventually it got done. And that's what I loved about it. I did it. I made something big. I made it huge. And I got to work with a lot of awesome people. Some people not so awesome. But yeah, that was my first ever big project on the channel. And now I feel confident enough that I can do this. I can do it at my own pace, so I don't have to rush, but I want to get it done before probably the end of January next year. I don't want to prolong it too long, because here's the thing. I'm going to be putting all these chapters together all in one. So the audio has to sound the same, and it has to seem like it's the same person. Like I did all this like in one go, when I did not. By the time chapter 1 was done, my freaking voice was about ready to die, because Pinkie Pie, oh my God. Pinkie Pie is the toughest voice in this entire story. Ugh. But I have a voice for every single character, and I feel it's really good. It's going to be a trilogy. I'm currently working on part 2. And it's going to be a tougher story to write, definitely. Because Unmarked was a simplistic story. It had like 2 plot lines, more of a mystery, so it slowly unfolded as it went along. This one is more of it's more of an apocalyptic kind of story. Like, the story is on Film Fiction if you want to go read it. The first one, not the second one. But I'm hoping to at least get it done before the end of January. Before the end of January. At most, I'd like it done by at least halfway through 2020. It's going to be a long process, but it's going to be a fun one. I'm looking forward to it because I want to see this story come to life. I want to see it actually become a thing. And I've proven on many other, videos that I can narrate the characters. Many people seem to like my voice as the CMC because one of my most popular ones on the channel, well, there's two actually, Cutie Mark Seance and Can't Stand to Be Apart. Those two are humongous. And I'm like, wow, people seem to really like me as the freaking CMC. But yeah, I always love doing the CMC because they're a lot of fun. I mean, Apple Bloom's really fun because she's just got a southern accent and she's kind of high. It's fun. Scoobloo's like the hardest voice for me because she's kind of low and kind of rough, kind of like that. And Sweetbelt's is kind of a high anticipated voice without the southern accent, kind of like that. But it's a lot of fun, and it's really allowing me to, express my voice, to find my voice, to really, experiment with different kind of voice acting, while also being in other projects as well. It's really a start. Like, YouTube was just kind of the experimentation process, like really learning how to become a big thing, slowly working towards becoming a bigger thing. And now here I am. I've had at least 3 years of experience. I think I'm ready to actually take it to a new step. And, I still will be doing stuff for the channel. It's just going to be, I don't know. 2020 is going to be an interesting year, definitely. It's going to be the start of a new decade. So I don't know what's coming, guys. I honestly don't. Fan fiction has been really lacking lately, so maybe I might do another creepypasta. But I don't want to do one that's like cliche and very overly done. Like No End House, I did it because I liked it. I really loved No End House. It had a really cool concept to it. It wasn't totally cliche and cheesy as hell, unlike the second and the third one that sucked ass. But it's just a lot of fun, That's why I do this. It's fun, it's entertaining, and it gives you guys something to listen to. You guys enjoy my voice, so there we go. Oh, goodness gracious. If you ever do another narration stream, I have a recommendation. The Art of Jacob Emery. I've heard of that before. Narration streams are just about having, people to narrate with, because my voice can only handle so much before it's about ready to die. It's like I can read up to about 20K words before my voice is about ready to give out. Like my voice has once it starts to squeak, once it starts to like feel really raspy and really dry, that's when my voice is like, nope, no more. So I have to stop. Also, oh my god, I don't even know how to say that. Hello, the Ninest Finder, the Pikachu. Some of these names. Chatting is one thing, but when you write stories, there are things you have to know for it to succeed. Yes. One of the biggest things that a story needs in order to succeed, in order to succeed, it depends on the story first. What kind of story is it? Is it a one-shot? Is it a multi-chapter? One-shots are more about getting straight to the point and not lacking anything. No lackluster. Just go for it. But when it comes to multi-chapters, you have to develop a story plot line that is going to keep people hooked. You're going to have to make it so that it sounds really, it's going to have to keep you hooked. That's why Unmarked was so successful. It had cliffhangers. It had nobody knew what was going to happen kind of thing. It was a continuous story with a mystery behind it, and people wanted to know, what's the mystery? Who is the one who did this to Applebloom? It keeps you hooked and only keeps you hooked. So you have to make a story to where it's going to keep people interested, and you got to make it so that it's not cliche as fuck. It's got to be original, and, it can't have that same freaking, cliche shit that people hate to see. I hate to see it. I don't like unoriginal content. It just irks me. That's why I don't read stuff if someone I've seen recently someone did a ponified version of Nightmare on Elm Street, I don't know which film. God. That to me is not original. That's just basically building off of something else. You're just basically ponifying it. So where's the fun in it? Your Scootaloo voice is basically a higher pitched religious pony voice. No, 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 no. Wrong. Incorrect. Scootaloo is more low and more raspy. When the Australian pirates more kind of like this, up in this kind of voice, like that. Oh god, that hurts my throat. Yeah, I don't like that voice. That one hurts, and I don't tend to use it very much, so that's why it hurts. But basically, if you're a new narrator and if you're starting out, start with something easy. Don't start with something huge. Don't. You're gonna regret it. Trust me. Like Lust, basically, in one of her, I can't even remember what this was. It was like I think it was one of her live streams, like some live stream. Someone asked her, if you're going to get into narration, like doing fanfic narration, then where do you want to start? And she said, start with something small. She started with Silent Ponyville 2, which, oh my fucking god, that had to have been a nightmare. Like, that had to have been an absolute nightmare. So, yeah, start small. A good place to start, I don't want to be too cliched. Like, I don't want to give you something that people are going to go, oh, another remake of that. So I want you to start with something simplistic, like along the area with the length of cupcakes. One of the most recent ones that I read, a huge freaking amount of views. Why did I keep wanting to say Luna Farrow? Oh, right, because she did the voice of Rarity. Perfect Start, Rarity's Collection. That story is dark as fuck and is very simplistic to do. Now, I did it from third person, and the author had no problem with that. It's originally written from Rarity's perspective, which is her point of view. But I'm like, I am not reading as Rarity for fucking this many words. No, not happening. Not gonna happen, darling. So, yeah, that would have sucked. But I did it from third person so that it was me telling the story and not Rarity. It adds a more haunting feel, if you ask me. Like, that story is so good. It's perfect on just building up to that perfect twist. Like, you think that Rarity's the one who's like in tragedy, when it's literally it's like reading from the mind of a psychopath. It's like a psychopath telling like their kinks and like what they like. But perfect starting story for you. There's one. That's basically a good place to start right there. I would recommend a Blue Snowball or a Blue Yeti if you're looking for a budget mic, and start with something small and then work towards something big in the future. Do your research. Make sure you do a lot of research on how to posturize yourself. That's another thing that I learned. When I was narrating before, I used to sit like slouched over, like very slouched over, and just killing my diaphragm. That's where you learn breath control and how it works. You want to keep your diaphragm open as much as possible. So if you have to sit down, back straight. When you lean forward, make sure your back's still straight so that you have full air capacity. If you're standing up, you're already in a good position. So, and I talk with my hands, so I tend to do that sometimes. Another thing, if you have what am I looking for here? Like, if you don't think a line sounded correctly, go through and do it again. Don't leave it. If it doesn't sound correct to you, do it again. Stay professional. Editing process. Editing, okay, you need to know how to edit if you're going to be a narrator, period. Even if it's just starting out with simple things like noise reduction, cutting out things that don't need to be there, and that kind of crap, you're going to start out rough. You'll learn as you go along. Like, in 3 years, I've learned a lot. So noise reduction is one that you definitely want to know. 2, amplify. 3, just cutting stuff out. Like, you don't want to leave your mistakes in. I have accidentally done that on only one reading, and that was a Little Miss Rarity Part 1, I want to say. I accidentally left something in, but it's not very noticeable. Like, it's not me yelling at the mic, like saying, oh shit, fuck, like that. It was something very simplistic. Like I said, don't said a word. I thought I said it wrong, so I say it again, and it's there, but it's not noticeable. So I'm like, I'll let it slide. And Little Miss Rarity is actually one of the most viewed freaking series on my channel after people wanted me to read it so much. Let's see what else. So editing is very important. That's what basically makes a story either come to life or fail. Depending on what kind of narrator you are, you can, depending on what kind of narrator you are, you have, if you're one that doesn't prefer music and you think you can do it with your voice only, go ahead. If you like music and sound effects, go ahead. There's no wrong way to do it. But another thing, you need to learn how to take constructive criticism. Criticism is something you're going to deal with in any field whatsoever. You're going to get criticism. If someone tells you that your voice was too high or maybe your volume was too loud, live and learn from it. Don't ignore advice like that. Now, if someone says, "Oh, you're fucking terrible," you need to just go and die. If they say something like that, just delete it and don't even pay attention. So you want to just work around it and learn. Just kind of learn from your mistakes. One thing that you really should pay attention to is like your mic levels, your environment. There's a lot of things that I could teach you alone from people that I've worked with. But one of the biggies is, water. Do not drink anything else in between while recording except water. Water clears the throat. Water helps to soothe your throat. That's what allows you to keep going and to, take away that dryness in your throat. Like if your throat starts to feel cluttered and starts to make weird noises, take a drink, kind of just swirl it around in your mouth, just just push it around your mouth for a minute and then just swallow it whole. Don't push your throat. If your throat feels strained, stop. That can actually hurt your vocal cords. Worse for wear, too. Any other advice? Tea can work too. Natural tea, though. Not iced tea, not sweet tea, not anything nothing caffeinated, because that builds up in your throat and it only makes your breathing worse. Like you can't get your full breath capacity. And one thing I've learned is to not rant. Sure, it makes for fun bloopers, but don't yell. Just kind of calm yourself down and just redo the line. I used to do that, sure, but I've learned that if you do that, all that does is just makes your vocal cords hurt more, and it's just going to make your voice sound like shit. So don't yell, don't rant. If it's just a little, like that, that's fine. But don't yell and rant over something small. Just go back, do it again. And if you keep messing up, here's what you do. You stop, you turn away, take a drink, and then just kind of sit there and let yourself recollect for a second and go for it. Another important one, that this is something that every narrator comes across. Every single narrator, even the professionals. Words that you are unsure of how to pronounce. Always have something open like dictionary.com or something like that. If you're unsure of a word and how to pronounce it, don't just go for it. You have to, if you want to do this correctly, you just go to it and you just go and look it up and you learn how to pronounce it. Like one of the ones, this was not my fault, by the way. Little Miss Rarity. One of the biggest words in the entire story was masochist and masochism. So I wasn't sure how to pronounce it, and I used Google Translate. This was Google Translate's fault. It told me to pronounce it masochist and masochism. So that's not my fault. That's Google's fault. But I learned later on, that it actually is, it's pronounced masochist and masochism, not masochist. But we all learn from our mistakes, right? So there's a lot of things that I could teach you about narration that I've learned from others. Yeah, but that's just a few. But starting out, you want to. Oh, here's one of the very key elements. Starting out, read over the story at least 3 times before you even touch the microphone. Don't just go for it like I used to. Like I used to just read it. I used to just look up a story and read it. Just go for it. So read over a story at least 3 times before you even touch the mic and push record. Trust me, it helps to save you from a lot of mistakes and a lot of problems. Like it helps to save you from a lot of bloopers. Like if you're gonna do it, then do it right. Read over the story at least 3 times. Make sure everything's correct. If there's a word you're not sure of, make sure it's pronounced correct. In the editing process, make sure everything is deleted that doesn't need to be there. And depending on what kind of narrator you are, you can either don't worry about things like let's say echo. Like you could probably hear echo right now because I'm in an open environment. When I record, there's a booth right over here to that'd be my left, which is right for you guys. There's a booth over here that I use. It's not set up right now, but it's basically a soundproof environment so that it doesn't, catch any sound or any echo like off the walls. If you have a soundproof environment, good for you. You're already one step ahead. But don't worry if you have an echo or something like that. Don't worry about it. Just you can work towards building better on that in the future. That's something that there's things that you can work on towards in the future, and there's things that matter then. Like, don't talk this close to the microphone, and don't unless you have a pop filter or something, do not go that close. I'm sorry if I just read your ears, but don't talk that close. Like I would recommend with a blue microphone or with a blue snowball microphone, I would recommend at least 2 feet, about 2 feet from the mic. Use a pop filter. I use 2 socks over mine. That really helps to isolate a lot of the sound. Honestly, it does. Do your research and make sure you just do things right. And do your research. Go to different websites. Ask, how can I become a better narrator? And if you have a mic and you can't afford like a majorly expensive microphone, don't worry about that. Just go with what you're doing. That's, like I said, that's something you get work towards in the future. I've had this thing for, God, how many years? 2 years. Been using it for 2 years. And it's not a bad microphone at all. It's actually not a very bad microphone. It's definitely, it had to be, what's the word? Had to be rigged. It had to be rigged in order for me to even, get the sound that I'm getting whenever I record. Here's what I have to do. I have a pillow set up on two those folding tables. One is on its legs and the other is unfolded and it's on top. I got this from a YouTube video. There's a pillow on the base, so there's no echo off of that. It's a solid base, so it would echo. I put a pillow for my bed on the back, and then a huge blanket over the top. And then I kind of isolate how much, space is between me and the mic and how much, it's letting in. You can get an echo from that. But I pinch the blanket together and I just go for it. Pops and all that stuff can actually be fixed manually, but I would recommend a pop filter. Socks do work for them for only a little bit. If you're doing a very high quality sound, you're more than likely going to get pops. It doesn't matter if you just barely even push any breath out of your mouth, it will catch it. Trust me. The Yeti, I cannot really judge on anything because I don't have the Yeti. All I know about the Yeti is that it is a better microphone. It does have some more, settings that can work, but it's just all about your preference. I like the Blue Snowball, $50. It's a USB mic that plugs right into the computer, and bam, you're ready to go. The Blue Yeti is also a plug-and-play microphone. It's a better microphone with a gain setting and different, kinds of ways you can record. But the editing process is where you make your stuff sound awesome or horrible. It's up to you. I mean, learn from your friends. Like if you have a friend that is into this, listen to them. If they know how to do this shit, listen to them. Don't take their advice for granted. If they give you legitimate stuff, or if you have a commenter that says, hey, this can be improved or this can be improved, if you can improve it, improve it. It would sound amazing. Like back when my videos had stack in the background, I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck? I apologize for ever having you guys ever having to listen to that shit, but yeah. But start small, get a mic like maybe the Blue Snowball or Blue Yeti, and that should do it. Like honestly, that should do it. That's a good start. Learn how to edit correctly, and just make sure you're ready. Just make sure you're ready to do this and be committed to it. And if you like it, you'll like it. If you find it fun, you'll find it fun. You will probably have to start out by doing the voices yourself, kind of like how I started out doing Scootaloo and Reborn. I had to do an Absentia. The only voice I didn't do was Rainbow Dash. But in the original version of the Bittersweet Lakers, I did Applejack, I did Big Mac, I did Granny Smith, I did all of them. You're going to have to learn how to emote with your voice. You're going to have to learn how to do it correctly. There's a lot of things you can do to learn how to voice act characters correctly. First of all, you have to mimic. Like Applejack, we know she's Southern, right? So you just got to do a Southern accent and kind of add a little bit of a twang to it and just kind of act like it's her voice, kind of her voice tone. If you can't go to the voice tone, just go with a Southern accent. Then there's Apple Bloom, who's a little higher. Just go a little higher and add a little bit of a. So just go a little higher and add a Southern accent to it, and you got Apple Bloom. Just gotta learn how to mimic, and you just gotta learn how to voice that correctly. When I started out with Blue Blood, Blue Blood was kind of like this. It was kind of murmury and very, it was very like horrible. There was no enunciation, and it was just horrible. But now I can control the voice because I've worked on it enough to do so. See? Practice. That's the last thing I'm going to tell you. Practice makes perfect. Practice every single day. Take a book that you have. Read it. Read it aloud. Narrate to yourself. Tell yourself, does this sound right? Does this sound right? Does this sound right? What can I improve here? What can I improve there? These are things that can really help you. Read over a story at least 3 times. I would start with a one-shot that has 2,000 words at the most, maybe 3,000, depending on what your voice can handle. And most importantly, do not do somebody else's voice. Do your voice. You have to be able to do your own voice. Like the reason why I started out the way I did was because I was mimicking Lost. Like Lost has that creepiness in her voice, so I wanted to give that creepiness in my voice. So big mistake. I could have killed my voice by the time I was 30. But now I have learned how to use my own voice and how to manipulate it so that it sounds good. Yeah, but depending on what you want to start with, just start with something small and very simplistic and go for it. That's all I can say. Go for it. No matter who you are, it doesn't matter what your voice sounds like. Everybody's voice can be a narrating voice. I'm telling you that right now. Don't ever give up on your dreams. You want to be a narrator? Go for it. So, anyways, that was a long fucking session. Holy shit, almost an hour and 30 minutes long. Whew. So plans for 2020. Honestly, I have no idea what's coming in 2020. I'm planning to mostly finish up Equestria's Fall before hopefully the end of March. Hopefully. Possibly the end of January if I have the recording time. I mean, each of these goes like 40 minutes to like an hour in recording one session. So yeah, that's not fun. It really puts a toll on my voice. I'm just hoping for the world to get better, which it's not probably, but I'm hoping for the next decade to at least improve. Do I think it's going to? No. Not the way our world's going. Our world's too judgmental. It's too hateful. It's just too full of hate and corruption. Like, I'm just hoping that in the next year we can continue to just grow the channel, improve things, make things better. I'm working on towards getting a new microphone. That's not a USB, it's an XLR. So that's going to be different for me. and hopefully just to improve. Hoping to gain more subscribers, hoping to grow the channel. Hopefully YouTube doesn't die on itself. Again, if you guys want to go look at the BitChute account, I only have I think 4 readings on it. I have No End House, The Bridge of No Return, Raise This Barn, and I want to say one more. No, I think that's it. But that's basically all I'm hoping for in 2020, is just continue growing and to get better. And that's all I want in any year. Now, the whole decade, hopefully it gets better than worse, but I sadly don't think it's going to. But that's basically my plans for 2020, is just to continue to get better and hopefully just to make more content for you guys. Definitely going to be it's definitely going to be a short little, like, there's going to be some I'm not guaranteeing that there's going to be 2 readings per month. Like I said, this month I just could not find anything to read. Like, I do have some, like I said, I do have some like hidden, like, as little hidden gems, like, that I have permission to read. Other than that, that's literally all I have. And they're multi-chapters, so that makes it even harder on me. So I'm more focused on this big project at the moment, to get it done and just get it over with. Other than that, I'm just hoping for the next year to just continue to grow and get better, and hopefully for the fandom to just grow and not die, even though it's never going to die. I already know that for a fact. Pony Life is coming in 2020. Guys, honestly, I think that's just going to be a short-term thing. It's mainly based for kids. I can tell just by the animation that it's mainly based for kids. It's not for, like, us. G5, that'll be 2021. 2021 is going to be when G5 is released, unless there's like a change in the date. Could happen. Let's see. The movie that's coming out for G4, apparently, I think it's G4 going into G5 or something along those lines. I don't know what this movie's supposed to be. I don't know what's about. I couldn't even tell you what it's about. I mean, what would it be about? Would it go based off of what we saw in, like, the epilogue, or would it go off of, maybe in between, like, the events of the epilogue and the ending of the end, like going off of the end of the ending of the end, and maybe telling more stories along that line before the epilogue came, which was 20 years later. So maybe something along those lines. I don't know. That's all I can assume at this point. So that's basically all I can see coming for the future for MLP. Pony Life is just going to be a child-based thing, and mainly just something like to keep kids' attention. So that's basically it. I will post a link to my BitChute in the description below, if you want to go follow me over there, just in case something does happen. Hopefully not. I've done everything I can to stay out of YouTube's radar, or not YouTube, but the FTC's radar. So hopefully nothing bad happens. So, I mean, and yeah, just thank you guys for everything, and I hope you all have a fantastic holiday. I mean, like I said at the beginning of this stream, we wouldn't be where we are if it wasn't for you. You're the heart and soul of this channel. You're what keeps it pumping. You're the ones that keep growing it, that make me keep doing what I'm doing. I am going towards a more, professional set, but I'm still going to be making content for you guys. I'm going to try and do at least 2, but there's no guarantees. I'm going to say that. There's no guarantees that there's going to be at least 2 a month. I am going to try, but there's no guarantees. I mean, I'd love to do another long series, but I've already got one on my plate. I need to finish up writing the trilogy that I'm currently working on, and hopefully my health just stays nice and secure where it is, and hopefully no big drama comes onto the channel. And just thank you guys for everything. And, even though we only earned like 1,217 subscribers this year, that doesn't matter. It's like I said in one of my community posts, I said, it doesn't matter if we do bad or if we do good. What matters is that we're still here. I'm still what's the word? I'm still providing entertaining content for you guys. That's all that matters, really. That's all that matters to me, as long as I keep you entertained and inspired. And hopefully you guys go forward your dreams, and just that's all I wish for you guys to do, is just go for your dreams and to not give up on whatever your dream is. It's going to be hard. I'm going to say it right now. It's not going to be easy. Look how long it took me to get to where I am. As for a sub rate or a sub, like a goal, going off of like what YouTube's doing right now, I would say, let's see, we're at about 4.8 right now. So I would say at least 6,000. That should be a safe number. Based off of how many we got this year, I think that's probably where we're going to be next year. Well, by the end of next year. Don't know when the video will come out. Sometime around like the 20th, 21st, 22nd, 24th, blah, 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 blah. But hopefully everything just stays good and we don't, nothing bad happens. And we just continue to grow as a community, and we just continue to grow as a channel. I have no intention of, giving YouTube any support. I will continue to give you guys support, but YouTube can fuck off for all I fucking care. All right, let's see. I should read some of these comments over here. Oh my god. That's what I heard though. Just like I see a little Stephen King in your face. I don't know where you see it. I would have to have a face like that. Not dissing on you, Stephen King. You're awesome. Has there been a narration of Pegasus device? I believe yes. Probably yes. If you look it up, there's probably a reading of it somewhere. I mean, a good reading? I don't know. I honestly have no idea. Let's see. Sweetie's voice is adorable. Sweetie's voice. Sweetie's voice. Sweetie who? Sweetie Belle? Sweetie's voice is adorable, and here I am asking myself that even though I have power yet lonely. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I don't know what Sweetie's voice is supposed to be. Oh, maybe it was when I was doing the voices. Okay. If you're still here, AJ, hi. Okay, this live record. It's being live right now. Won't be here for long, but when it was happy holidays, I'll enjoy the highlights. Okay. Let's see. 2020 is going to. Oh hey, Kimmy. By the way, 2020 is going to be crap. My prediction. I don't know. It all depends. I'm so sorry. I think I used spoiler too much because I can't chat with you. Please forgive me. It's fine. I don't know what you're referring to, honestly. Thank you for following me, Devil Dog. Do I have plans for another Would You Rather stream? Probably not, unless I could find, something on like Google Chrome, something like that. I've never tried streaming with this, like, except like this kind of way, face cam. I've never tried it with what's the name of the thing? OBS. I've never tried it, so maybe not. I don't know. I'd have to do a test. Okay. I don't have any more YouTube goals due to YouTube's BS. Yeah. It's not fun, but we'll live. Excuse me. A burp for the outro, I guess. So I thank you guys for everything, and just continue being awesome, I guess. If you've got goals and you've got dreams, go for them. That's all I can say. So that's all I've got for you. And 2019 was I would call it an okay year. Like 2019 was fine until the FTC stuff came in, and then holy crap, everybody was thinking that channels are going to be basically terminated. Uh, YouTube's going to die. It's slowly on a decline, honestly. Um, uh, I mean, there's nothing else besides that was really bad by any means. Aside from like the drama side of YouTube, or not YouTube, of the Brony community, you know, I mean, there's always going to be drama in any fandom that you go into. But yep, I've been trying to just find a way to progress myself and work towards something huge, and I'm finally getting the confidence to finally work towards getting what I need to get to in order to be big. Well, not big, but you know what I mean. I'm trying to work towards, just getting a career, like becoming an audiobook narrator. So, yeah, it's going to be a challenge, but I'm always up for a challenge. But yeah, I'm babbling. So, thank you guys for watching, and yeah, that's all I've got for you today. Like, comment, subscribe. Well, that's not really efficient here, so let's just cut that out. But subscribe if you're new here. If you want to see more Grimdark readings, hopefully I can get one out by like I don't know. I'm hoping to at least get one out. I mean, seriously, I'm just really focusing on Equestria's Fall right now, and yeah, that's all I can really say right now. I have no idea what I'm doing for January. I am way behind schedule, and fan fiction's just been very, 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 very quiet. So, and everything's like just cliche and boring. So that's all I can tell you, honestly. But anyways, I'm done now, and I hope you all have a fantastic Christmas and Happy New Year, and I will hopefully see you in 2020. Hopefully see you now. And I will see you all in 2020, and happy horse until next time, and make sure to take care of yourselves and stay safe. Bye-bye.